Hi everybody, welcome to this simple Valentine's nail art tutorial. For this design you're going to need a nail tip, you'll need a base colour and a top coat, you'll need gel paints. I'm using white and red because they're quite Valentine's-y, but you can use whichever colours you prefer. You'll need a dotting tool and you will need a thin 00 brush. Personally, I really like the Nail Artist's 00 brush. I don't know whether you can see. Here we go. A little bit blurry there, but it's just a really nice, short, thin brush. It's just one that I particularly like. I've coated my nail already with 2 coats. I'm using Light Elegance for all of this. So I've got P+ on here and I've sealed it with top coat, because if I then start doing my design and I don't like it, or I'm not happy with it, or I go wrong or whatever reason, I can just wipe it off quite easily without affecting or bothering the colour underneath. So first of all, what I'm going to do is a sort of marble design, kind of down the centre, sort of off centre. I don't want it to be too straight a line. So I'm going to take some of my white, again, it's the Light Elegance gel paints, which I absolutely love. They are just the best for nail art, they really are. And I'm just going to dot and kind of drag this quite thickly down my nail. And as I say, I don't want this to be too straight a line, be slightly off centre, just to create a bit of a pattern. Okay, so I've got my white in a sort of pattern. I'm probably likely to add more white to this or more red to this a little bit later on. But now I'm going to do the same with my red and literally kind of dab it on in little sort of gaps. I don't want it all the way down because I want to be able to blend my red and my white together, so I don't want large chunks of it in places like so. Okay, now I'm going to take my little thin 00 brush and just start swirling the 2 colours into each other. And as I say, at points I'm probably going to add a bit more white here and there, a bit more red here and there, but it's just a very gentle, very light swirling of my brush. So I'm not dragging the product and I'm not pulling it away, but I am just, with the tip of my brush, mixing the 2 of them together, but not to the point that they become pink. You want to see that combination of both colours. Now there's 2 little dots there where I would just like to add a little bit more white, and I'm sure you can probably see them too. I want a tiny bit more white here on this bit. And I'm just going to add a tiny little bit more white just to that sort of little centre bit where there's quite a chunk of red at the moment, just here. There we go. I'm happy with that, so I'm going to cure that. Okay, so now I've got my cured marble. I'm going to add a couple of little hearts to make this a bit Valentine's-y. And for this I want my dotting tool. I always have my gel paints on a little tile, just a tile that you would use to tile the bathroom with or the kitchen. It might be one you've had left over, or you can just go and buy them for about 10p. But I just like to work from them and then I can easily clean it and use them again. I know a lot of people use tin foil. I tend to find tin foil can move and I go through a lot of it and I don't think it's particularly environmentally friendly, so I always have a tile. Now, I've got a little bit of red paint here on my dotting tool, and to do a heart, quite simply, I'm going to do a bit like I'm going to start Mickey Mouse really. I'm going to do a dot and another dot reasonably close. Okay, now if I was going to do Mickey Mouse, I'd do another dot just underneath, wouldn't I? But I'm not doing Mickey Mouse. I'm going to take my 00 thin brush and I'm just going to drag the paint and fill in the centre to make my heart. Now you can see that just next to it I've dragged a little bit where I brought my gel polish over, but that's fine because we'd already top coated the colour underneath, haven't we? So I'm just going to take a little bit of my nail cleanser just to wipe that bit away, and that won't affect my polish underneath, and also will remove that little dot before we go to curing. Now you can do as many hearts as you like up and down the nail, wherever you want them to be. There we go. Let's do a white one for a change. So again, exactly the same technique. I'm just going to clean my dotting tool a moment. So I need a little bit of my white gel paint. I'm going to pop this one on the other side to the last one. So we'll just do a little dot. Got quite a lot of gel paint there, so this is going to be a slightly bigger heart, but it doesn't matter. And then let's wipe a touch of that off there. And then another dot, almost sort of quite close next to it, like so. And then take my 00 brush again and just drag that down to create my heart. Now of course you can make these larger or smaller, you can give them more of a twisted kind of point at the end. It's entirely up to you. Okay, I'm just going to add a couple more. And there we are, our finished design sealed with a top coat with some white hearts. I quite like when hearts aren't complete. You see just down the edge here where we've got a few that aren't quite complete because of the space. I think it makes it a bit more realistic. Obviously you can do as few or as little as you like. There's another idea with the same sort of design that I did. Again with the marbling down the centre, but this time I've used little heart jewels. You could do the same with little crystal diamantes. You could use both, whatever you prefer. But there's a sort of a few little ideas there of some Valentine's nail art. Enjoy!